Hey, my name is Christian Webb with Business Marketing Solutions Group. I'm going to show you how to take a deep dive on your ads and find out exactly what all the analytics mean on the Ads Manager page to find out if you are running good ads or not. Okay, so behind me I'm going to be sharing a screen throughout this video, so just follow along with me, okay? So right here is an example of an Ads Manager account. You're able to look at all the ads in a row here. So here's where you're going to find a ton of helpful stats. If you look up top, you'll see all the way across, you'll see what your bid strategy is, your budget for each ad, but then you get into really cool stuff, your results. So you get your results, reach, impressions, cost per click, the amount total spent for the date range that you have clicked, when it ends. Right here we're going to go over the relevance score. Once we get to this point, I'll kind of go over what this means and how it's kind of graded, and the frequency. Now, other than this, we're going to add a couple things. Every time I send reports to my customers, I show them the media viewed, like how much percentage of your actual videos were viewed, how much of your content was actually absorbed by your customer. Well, let's go back through this. So we're going back over here to the very top one. I don't even know what the ad is. We're just gonna run with it, okay? So right here in the results section, it says it had 2,506 10-second views. Now, if I look over here, I know that's a minute and some change, like really short video. So that was a strong portion of that video viewed. 12,568 reaches. Now, what reaches mean to you is unique individual touches. So at least one time they saw that video or they saw that ad, okay? Now, impressions can include more than one viewing. So if I saw your ad twice, I can be clocked in the impression side. That's why usually the impressions will be either 2 to 3 times larger than your reach, because people go back and they see your ad again and you're top of mind awareness there. Now, your cost per result is usually a good way to find out if you're doing okay or not. This one was a little different because this is an actual lead generating branding ad where we ask them to actually communicate with us below. So the cost per interaction is a little higher. And the amount spent was a little higher because we were actually producing leads out of this, not just branding. Now let's roll over here to the relevance score. So Facebook's relevance score is like, take yourself back to high school and college. This is your A, B, C, D, F. That's basically what you're being graded on here. The higher your relevance score, basically the more you're getting interacted with, the more relevant your consumer is finding your content. So Facebook's pushing it out farther and further for cheaper, less money. If that relevance score is down in the 1, 2, 3 section, it's going to be anywhere between 15, 20 cent in engagement. It can get really, really expensive to push out irrelevant content. So you got to make sure your relevance score is nice. Now, sometimes you'll run into some like hurdles per se when you have a really, really tight niche and the tight niche hasn't really been marketed or grown yet. And you'll find that even if you have great content, sometimes your relevance score will still be low because your niche just doesn't really engage on Facebook. For example, I actually have a customer that started out that way and now they're doing way better, but their niche was anywhere between 55 and 85 years old. So the back half was a different part of a generation that doesn't really use this as much as we do, right? So we had to actually build that audience. We had to get them interested and actually get them in a pattern to where they wanted to engage on social media with my customer. It took 3 to 4 months to even get that really going. Relevance score started in the 2s and 3s and now it's much higher, like a 7 or an 8. Now, over here, you can actually customize everything here. So I love that part of it. Now, there is an extra piece that I always add, and that's the media views. So you go right here to the blue and white cross over here, and you hit, I think I hit a different button there, my bad guys. Yeah, you hit it and then customize columns. Over to the left, you have tons of different custom options. My favorite are the media options. You can come down here and hit 25, 50, 75, and 100. I always hit 95 too, they're pretty much the same thing. If you watch 95% of my video, you pretty much watch the whole thing, right? And now that those are loaded in, I can now tell you how much was actually absorbed by your consumers. So out of all these videos, over just however long we've been with this company, 17,260 people down in the bottom right watched 95% of their video content. 16,100, 22,000 watched 3/4 of their video content, and 32,000 watched half of it. Well over 50,000 watched the first quarter of all their videos that were put out into the market. So this shows me that the consumer engages. This right here by itself, when I talk to a customer, this is my favorite selling point, because if you have other ways to market, you're doing direct mailers, you're doing billboards, you're doing radio, where all these can be helpful and supplemental to a good campaign, you can't track them like this. There's no way for you to tell me how much my consumer actually consumed of the marketing. So here's where taking a deep dive on analytics will just save the day. Now say you go through your ads and you find a whole bunch of like 9s and 10s and 8s on relevance score, then all of a sudden you see a 3. That tells you need to go back and edit that and find a way to make that more relevant to your consumer, as long as your niche isn't as tight as my customer that I referenced to a minute ago. I don't want to go any deeper than this right here, because if you go deep in this right here, you start getting very complicated. And these videos are just meant to be simple tutorials to kind of help you do a better job on your own social media content and marketing. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please comment below or reach out to us directly. We'd love to help.